Hey, how's it going and welcome to The Guitar Effect. My name's Rob. In this episode I'm going to be bringing you through the Partscaster telly that I built way back at the beginning of lockdown and that I've had for a year and a half now or so. It took me about 3 or 4 months to build. But before I go into that, I'll ask you please like and subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you'll always be aware when we put a new video out. So I'll show you the telly now. So here it is, my Partscaster. It's a Telecaster with a mahogany body and a square neck and P90 pickup and a Dimarzio chopper T with standard volume and tone, finished in cherry with no finish on the back. And what I'll do now is I'll just take some shots of the guitar to show you it up close and just give you a bit of description of how I did everything. Okay, so how I did this was I started with the body. I bought the body off of, I think it was musicstore.ie, and it was like 60 quid. It was like 60 euro because I wanted to try and do the cheapest body I could, and I liked the idea of a mahogany telly, thought it would be darker. So I bought the body, got it and sanded it all down, and then I got Crimson Guitars cherry coloured stain, which I'll put a picture up of now, and I stained the top, and that took about 3 or 4 passes to get the intensity of red that I wanted. And then I got Crimson Guitars guitar finishing oil, and I finished the rest of the body with the guitar finishing oil front and, as you can see here, on the back. You can see these kind of weird sanding marks on the back where I was still learning to sand, and it's left some marks. Then I just ordered the pick guard with the P90 route. I bought a set of P90s from a Tokai Junior, bought the set of P90s, put the P90 in the neck, and then I found the chopper T and I added it, and then just bought the control plate volume and tone and switch and stuff off Amazon. Then the neck is an entire neck of a Squire Telecaster custom. It's a lovely rosewood fingerboard. I really like the Squire old school logo and the cool vintage looking machine head, so I'm really happy with that. And overall I think the guitar is really pretty. I really like it. So there you go, yeah. It's gotten used out of my rack of guitars, which you can see here behind me, and over here, a lot more than I thought it would. It's a really versatile guitar, and I really like the sound of it through one of my amplifiers. And I would recommend doing this. I mean, it was really affordable. I think the whole thing cost me around circa 350 euro. Now, you could probably buy a brand new Squire Classic Vibe, or certainly a second-hand Squire Classic Vibe for that money. So I don't think necessarily the value is the big deal. It's just you get exactly what you want, and this is exactly what I wanted. So I suppose let's take a listen to it now and see how it sounds. So to demonstrate the sounds, first thing I'll do is tell you the signal chain, right? So out of the guitar into my pedal board and on the floor, which I'll put a picture up of now. I'll let you know what pedal I'm using when I'm using it, and then out of that, so they're all in series, straight out of that into the input of the Hotone Nano Legacy British Invasion amplifier, which is a little 1 watt or 5 watt I think head that has a voxy character to it, and then I'm going straight out of the headphone output of that into a channel on my Focusrite Scarlett interface into Logic. Okay, so there's no speaker in play, it's completely silent in the room. And so to start off with, I have, if I go to the back pickup and hit the guitar hard, you'll hear I have a bit of gain on, which turns off the reverb. Okay, and I'm going to go to the neck pickup, same thing. So I'm going to turn on the reverb here, roll my volume back, and you'll hear get a pretty nice clean sound. So just to show you then, using the volume now, going through a different few parts on the neck pickup, here's what the P90 in the neck position sounds like. Full volume. same thing and wind it back a little bit, but turn on the compressor on my pedal board. Sounds like this. But it's weird. I don't know if this is necessarily the guitar or the compressor, but you get like equal volume but less gain. So that's with the volume about halfway, and I've rolled the volume up full. Really gorgeous sounding, like, sorry, the compressor is noisy. It's just a really beautiful sounding neck pickup, and it really had the desired effect that I was going for, to make the guitar have a bigger, richer neck pickup sound than a standard Telecaster. So then if I go into the middle, I think, I'm not certain, but I think I have actually wired the middle pickup setting on this out of phase. So again, with the volume backed off a little bit, full volume. It's an interesting sound. I think it could be used for an effect, but it's not something I use a massive amount with this guitar. So then we go into back pickup. Just to let you know, I have the mid pushed a little bit on the amplifier, the treble pushed a lot, and the bass just a little bit backed off. And this is the back pickup, full volume. A reverb pedal on, obviously, and also I have the reverb going into the front end of a driven amp, which means the reverb is more pronounced than it would normally be. So if I roll the volume back on the back pickup, so this is the Dimarzio Chopper T, the Richie Kotzen pickup. It's got a really interesting frequency range. It's got like lots of upper mids, and it's completely noiseless as well. Like it does have a Telecaster characteristic about it, but it's quite different. It has more upper mids and it sounds a bit fuller and less spiky. But if I can dig in with the volume full on, it still has a bit of spankiness about it, but playing the same part. Full volume. Really like the sound of that back pickup. For open chordy stuff, I think it sounds really good. I'm going to still turn down my reverb a little bit, it's getting a bit intense. As you can see, the pickups work really well for just going into an amp and using the volume control and the playing dynamics to control the amount of gain you're using, but it can take pedals really well, this setup too. So I have a fuzz pedal, for all intents and purposes, then a muff pedal, and then just a graphic EQ with the mids boosted slightly and the lower mids pulled out a little bit. So here is the neck pickup. Okay, playing that part again. If I add the EQ pedal for lead. With the EQ pedal. Without it, with it. Just gives a little bit more of the same thing. So that's a neck pickup. Same thing on the back. just a little whole tone EQ pedal. It works really, really well as that kind of EQ plus boost kind of thing. I really, really like it. That's a recent addition to my board. Right, so the next thing then is traditional kind of sounding spitty fuzz pedal. That's the neck pickup, back pickup. Again, works really, really well. And then on the neck pickup, this kind of muff pedal. Pickup works much better. Really loving that pedal. So I think that kind of covers off the sounds. It does clean, dirty really, really well. It's like a bigger sounding Telecaster, but still retains a lot of spanky top end. Always sounds best, I think, Teles, as all Teles do, through a Voxy style amp. So there you go, folks. My Partscaster. I really, really enjoyed the process of making this, and I would really recommend it to anyone. All the stuff about locating the bridge here and, like, you know, doing the neck holes as I showed you. I couldn't get one of them lined up, but the guitar is intonated and works perfectly. It's a really great learning experience to learn about how the kind of mathematical side of scale length and stuff works on a guitar and why everything works the way it does. I strongly recommend doing it. I think it's pretty affordable, and you get something that is unique to yourself afterwards, or at least relatively unique to yourself. So really, really enjoyable thing to do. I'll post any of the parts that I got in the description below should you want to try and do this. Like I said, the body was super affordable. I got the neck secondhand, super affordable. All the electronics were pretty affordable. The pickups obviously were secondhand. They might be a bit more expensive to try to do this new, but I think it's really worth doing to build a Telecaster, and I would definitely start with a Telecaster because I've done a Strat as well and it's way harder. It's definitely worth doing a Telecaster to your own specs because it's a pretty easy and achievable thing to do. So, hope you enjoyed the video. As always, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in another video again soon. Take it easy. Cheers. Bye bye.